Hey, Dub Nation, we are on the road to 30,000 subscribers here on Golden State Warriors today, and we can get there with your help. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. It's free. If you want Warriors news, rumors, updates, injury updates, we have some bad injury news to get to on today's show, so stay tuned for that. But if you like all of that content and more, we've got you covered. Subscribe, youtube.com/WarriorsTV. You're watching Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, bringing you today's unfortunate news of James Wiseman being out for the season. He was trying to rehab to come back, had a G League stint, setback on the knee. He's not going to return this year. Here's ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski tweeting this. Sources to ESPN, Warriors center James Wiseman has been ruled out for the rest of the season and will continue rehabilitating his right knee. Wiseman had been recovering for a meniscus tear from last April, and the team has been cautious to protect him. Wiseman is expected to remain in the Bay to continue his rehab, which includes strength and conditioning exercises. There are no plans for more surgery on the knee, sources said. Wiseman played 3 games in the G League this month before swelling in the knee sidelined him. So, couple things. Number one, clearly the knee couldn't hold up after playing in those. Some kind of a setback, whether it's actual cartilage damage or just the swelling. Some kind of setback occurred, and the Warriors said, you know what, we're going to shut him down. It's obviously crushing. I think this Warriors team, can win the way it's built because they haven't had him all year, but it's more so crushing for Wiseman and what his long-term future looks like at this point. I mean, this is a guy last year who did flash, 11.5 points, 6 rebounds, 52% from the floor. When he did play last year, at times you were like, okay, this is why this team drafted him number 2 overall. And he looked good in the G League when he was coming back this year. But, you just worry. The knees are swelling. Like, is this going to be a long-term problem? Is he going to have injury concerns? I don't know. I hope not. But typically when bigs start getting injuries, it doesn't get better typically, but hopefully in this case that is not the case because in the G League he was balling out 17 and 10 in just about 21 minutes per game. He was blocking a couple shots almost. He is a talent. There is a reason they drafted him because they needed a big, or at least they felt like they needed one at that time. And now he will not play a single game in his second season after playing just 39 games in his rookie year. Show support, show some love. Obviously a tough time for the Warriors and especially for James Wiseman. Type 33 for his number down in the comments. Let's show him some support because, I'm sure he's frustrated. And I'm sure he's not thrilled with how things have played out with this rehab. I mean, we're almost on a year since he tore that meniscus, and he still hasn't been able to return. So type 33 in the comments to support James Wiseman. The question I do wonder, and you hate to go this route, but, reality is reality, right? Should the Warriors regret drafting James Wiseman? Let's just look at the top 5 picks from that draft. Anthony Edwards, obviously you weren't going to get him. He went number 1, but you took Wiseman 2 over most notably LaMelo Ball. Patrick Williams has been a better player. Isaac Okoro's been pretty good. He's at least been able to stay more healthy, but LaMelo Ball, that's the one that's glaring. That's the mistake here. You drafted the wrong guy. And look, I still think Wiseman can have a good career. I still think he can fit here, but I just wonder, did Golden State pass on LaMelo because of LeVar Ball? Did they pass on him because they had more guards, Steph Curry, they felt like they needed for a big? Because when you have a top 5 pick, you should draft the best player. You don't force a need. If they thought LaMelo was a better player, they should have drafted him, and they didn't do that. And I think that's a mistake because LaMelo Ball has been absolutely fantastic. More on this in a second. Not all doom and gloom, but keep that in mind as we push forward in this video. Now, we are on Rumble now, Golden State Warriors Today, another video platform publishing all of our content over there. And as we grow over there, you might get to see some exclusive videos from us here at Golden State Warriors Today. If you've already subscribed on YouTube, go follow us on Rumble. Continue to support us. We would appreciate it. That would be fantastic. Link is right on screen. It's also in the comments in the description of this video. Rumble.com/WarriorsTV. That is Rumble.com/WarriorsTV. Okay, so these are some guys that are kind of hanging out there. Willie Cauley-Stein, he initially had a 10-day with Philadelphia. They scrapped that. Marc Gasol, he's like half retired at this point. Enes Freedom's an interesting name. He's still a good offensive player, doesn't give you much defense. Greg Monroe has flashed in his return at times this year on some 10 days. Tyler Zeller's floating out there. There's some names. There's some interesting pieces. Cauley-Stein's been with the Warriors before. If you could find a way to convince him to get back and come play, which he's had some off-the-court issues. That's why Dallas had to cut him earlier this season. Then maybe you go out and you get one of these guys after James Wiseman has suffered a season-ending setback in his injury recovery. Which big man should the Warriors sign? Is it one of those players? Is it someone else? Do they need to? If you don't think they do, then just say, nah, we're good, down in the comment section. Let us know down below. The reality is look, this team over the years has run a lot of small ball. They'll continue to do that. Luckily, Draymond's come back from injury. Juan Toscano-Anderson can play that small ball 5 as well. So they'll continue to go that route. But the genesis of this video is more of just, another setback for Wiseman. Even if he wasn't going to be a key contributor for this team this year, you would like to see him get out there and run a little bit, play some. Now you go into next season, and you really don't know what you have, if we're being completely honest. For this year, I think you'll be okay. You run small ball with what you got. But the long term for James Wiseman, it's a question mark. It's absolutely a question mark, which is why I'll ask this question, which is a tough one. Has Wiseman played his last game for the Dubs? Is this a Greg Oden situation? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I don't think it is, but when his knees are swelling up almost a year after meniscus surgery in G League games where he's playing 20 minutes, that sounds Greg Oden-ish to me. I'm just saying. I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but it's one of those tough ones. I don't know. Let me know. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Be sure to subscribe to Golden State Warriors Today for nonstop updates throughout the season. We will have you guys covered 100% free, and hopefully this team gets back on track come playoff time because, hey, the West is it's rounding into form. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of which, the Warriors in the middle of a 5-game road trip. They've got the Hawks, Wizards, and Grizzlies coming up. Game against Memphis is key because that's the team they could run into in the postseason in that second-round series. If they're the 2 and 3 seeds, if they both won their first rounds, they would play in round 2. So could be a little tune-up for a potential playoff matchup with Memphis, who continues to ball out without Ja Morant. It's been really impressive what they've been able to do all season long. But, I mean, you look at the West now. Dallas has been lurking. They're playing well. Denver, we've talked about the East all year. West is still a beast, folks. It's an absolute beast. What seed will the Warriors end up with? Let us know in the comments. We'll leave you on this one on today's video. Will they get the 3, 4, 2? Probably the 3 at this point. But take a guess, and we'll see you next time here on Warriors Today.